And after the big heartbreak yesterday, after Vinesh Phogat was disqualified, we are getting another heartbreaking news. Vinesh Phogat has announced retirement from wrestling. She posted on social media platform X early this morning that she is retiring from wrestling. She wrote that wrestling one match against me. Your dreams and my courage are shattered. So this big heartbreaking news coming to the fore that Vinesh Phogat has announced retirement from wrestling. CNN News 18's Shivani Gupta is now joining us with more details. Shivani, just a day after the big heartbreak that we saw yesterday after Vinesh Phogat was disqualified for being overweight, now Vinesh Phogat has announced retirement.
Absolutely. It's been less than 24 hours since she suffered that setback where she was disqualified for being overweight by about 100 or so grams from her final bout in the 50 kilograms category at the Olympics. I don't think this is sufficient time to kind of come over or truly, digest what had happened to her. But in what seems to be a very emotional tweet, she has said that wrestling has won and I have lost, and I don't have any courage to go on. While one understands the sentiment that that is coming forward, there is also a sense that she's truly distraught and needs a lot more time to digest what has happened to her. These are very rare events in sport, and certainly before a final bout at the Olympics, suffering such a heartbreak is enormous. This was her third Olympics, and she's been suffering some setback or the other in all the Olympics that she's been going. In 2016 Rio, she was possibly at her peak 8 years ago, and she suffered an ACL tear during her bout in the quarterfinals and had to be stretchered off. She came back in Tokyo but couldn't quite perform. And now, again, 3 years later, she was performing but found herself to be overweight in her weight category. So this is just brutal on an athlete, and, for someone who's been working for more than a decade to win an Olympic medal, one can truly understand where she's coming from. I don't know whether there will be some sort of a support, emotional support for her, where she might be counseled. I think she will need a lot of counseling and emotional support over the next few days and months. Last time also, when she couldn't perform at the Olympics, she was extremely distraught and needed a lot of help. So
Right.
this time around, whether this is an emotional tweet or whether this is now something that she has thought about perfectly, remains to be seen.
Right. Shivani, also just yesterday we were speaking to Vinesh Phogat's uncle Mahavir Phogat, who said that Vinesh will come stronger in the next Olympics, but now Vinesh has announced retirement.
See, Mahavir sir, being the patriarch and the coach and the senior member of the family, was trying to look forward and build hope, and trying to say that, okay, this is not the end and you can come back and do more. That is what most people will tell her. But as an athlete who's 29, coming back at 33 in 4 years' time is going to be very difficult for her to be in medal contention. It's not unheard of, but it's going to be very difficult. So while one cannot quite say whether Vinesh should or should not prepare for LA 2028. That's a choice that she has to make, because ultimately she has to figure out whether she has the motivation to go back on the mat and continue to practice, because it takes a lot out of you. She suffered a lot of injuries as well. She's had to undergo a lot of surgeries as well, and all of that takes a lot of toll on an athlete. So, of course, yes, those around her would have hoped that she can continue, or maybe she can make a last-ditch effort at 2028, but that's always going to be very, very difficult. And, both those calls, whether she will play for the Olympics or not play for another Olympics, are not calls that can be made within hours of facing the setback that has been faced by Vinesh. So again, this retirement, like I said, the tweet about the retirement and her being heartbroken, is coming less than 24 hours after that heartbreak. Maybe, who knows, when she has time, when she's been counseled, when she can recover mentally and, psychologically from this setback, she might reconsider. We don't know. Athletes have done that. But as of now, she is announcing that she's retiring.
All right, Shivani, please stay with us. So Vinesh Phogat has announced retirement from wrestling. That's the big update that's coming in. But right now we have some more inputs coming in. And Vinesh Phogat has appealed to the Court of Arbitration